Hey, how you doing, everybody? This is Bad Brad, and it's been a while since I've been able to do one of these late night ramblings, and there's been so much going on in the music business, and I've seen so much happen, and I've experienced so much happen, and today's topic is the music business, and the music business is a very tough business. Now, when I say music business, I don't talk about, getting in a van with your buddies and playing a bar on a weekend. Although that is the music business. And let me tell you something, that is hard as well, okay? It's very hard to get paid to do something you love. It seems that everywhere you turn, somebody's got a handout. Somebody wants to short your money. It's very difficult to get paid, and it's very difficult to get paid what you're worth. And that goes everywhere from, the van and playing the local bar down the street to, somewhere in the middle there where you're doing showcases and you're trying to get signed. To being a sideman or even a star that's touring all over the States, the world, whatever. This business will chew you up and spit you out. And when they're done with you, very few people are going to reach out. Very few people are going to still be there when it's all said and done. And what do I mean by that? Simple things like, when you're touring with an artist as a sideman, there's certain perks that you have. And some of those perks are, you get your strings for free, you maybe get some guitars and discounts on amps, and you develop relationships with these companies because you're able to help promote their product by playing on a stage every night in front of thousands, hundreds to thousands of people. Okay, but the day that gig ends for you, those relationships are all gone. They are not of your doing. You are being given these things because of who you work for. You'll find out really quickly that, those people that were, hey man, hey buddy, yeah, I'll send you that. I'll get that right out. And as soon as you're no longer in that position, those benefits, those perks all go away. And it's the same thing for the adoring fans. That all goes away. 1 minute you're sitting in your living room and the phone rings and you get pulled up. I'd say it's like getting pulled up into the minor leagues from playing, sandlot baseball. You get pulled up into the minor leagues, or maybe you get pulled straight up into the major leagues from nowhere. And the minute you get into that world, it's like getting into this, it's a whole different world, because all of a sudden, people that wouldn't look twice at you, all of a sudden you're somebody, and it happens overnight. And that includes, dating opportunities, women, booze, and everything else that goes along with it. It's all for the taking, and you can take it or leave it. Everybody has their thing that they do, and some of the tours are very clean and there's a lot of rules, so there might not be situations like that, but in order to survive on the road, you can start out saying, I'm going to work out every day and I'm not going to drink. And, a lot of guys now have either graduated to that or start out like that. But let's say you're out with somebody that has no rules, and it seems like there's complete chaos going on all the time, and there's never any repercussions for anything. And you're just in this insular world where anything goes. That is a situation where you will do whatever it takes to get through the next gig. And let's say you're at a point with an artist that's on the rise, that's doing that final push to try to make it to headline stadiums or headline arenas or even headline clubs. That is going to be a grind. That is going to be, as many shows crammed into a week as possible. And, it doesn't allow for rest. It doesn't allow for if you get sick. It's like it doesn't matter. The show must go on, right? Now, if anybody has seen the more recent Elvis biopic with Austin Butler, there's a pivotal scene in that movie where Elvis is sick, man. He's addicted to drugs. He's been taking the drugs to be able to perform, to keep the routine, to keep the schedule, and he collapses backstage. And the nurse says, if this were my boy, I'd put him in the hospital, And Colonel Parker says, the only thing that matters is that man right there gets on that stage. I've personally experienced that, when I was previously out on the road. I only missed one show, and there was a flu virus that appeared on the bus, and it started with a couple of members. And I remember waking up and everybody, the two guys have been up all night getting sick. And I remember waking up that next morning and feeling I'm feeling it come on. When something's not right. And I literally walked down the street. It's just like, I know I'm about to get sick. I know, and I don't want to be on this bus with 12 other people and no bathroom, and and meanwhile we had a show that day, so sound check was just in a couple of hours. So I literally, to keep my health and my sanity in check, I literally walked down the street, found a hotel. This was somewhere out west, I forget where. It might have been Seattle or Portland or somewhere like that. And I walked down the street and I found a little, like a boutique hotel. And I just said, I need a room. And I checked myself into a room for the day. And I got a bunch of water. I got a bunch of Pepto-Bismol. And I hunkered down in that room. And I got that sickness out of me so that I was able to get on the bus that night after their show at 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, go to sleep, and then be able to play the next day. So I missed one show. But I had to do that for myself. If I'd have stayed there, I would have been getting sick. No one would have done anything to help me. No one would have said, hey, here, go to a hotel room or whatever. I would have just had to just lay in misery in my bunk with, not easy access to a bathroom or any of that. And I had previously done a video about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, in touring musicians. It needs to be widely known. But, I had somebody reach out, oh, how can you get PTSD, just playing in a band? Well, they just don't have any idea of what it entails. And yeah, the majority of touring experiences, you're with good people and you have the time of your life and all that. But, there's a lot of other situations where you're not really enjoying the people that you're with. You maybe don't like the music, but there's also substance abuse going on. And there's, violence and, all kinds of drama. And then you've got your home, your strings at home, your people at home pulling on your heartstrings and telling you, come home. And you can't. You're on a 3-week run and you just started 2 days, before. It's very difficult. And then, you can say, oh, well, I'm going to get up and I'm going to work out and I'm not going to drink and I'm going to take it easy and do my job. Well, that's easier said than done because everybody else on that bus is having the time of their lives, drinking excessively and they're whooping it up in the front lounge. You can hear it, and at some point if you can't sleep or whatever, you're like, all right, just give me a beer, and then it all starts back again. And so it becomes very difficult to keep your sanity, to keep your wits about you, and to do your job. And the job they don't care. The management doesn't care that you need a break. I know I've seen situations where the artist says, I need a break. And management just, it just keep dancing, keep dancing. They don't care. They're looking at the bottom line, how much money's coming in. You've got all those employees, not just the people on the bus or in the crew, but you've got all those label people and everybody else, the accountants, the managers, everybody, the booking agents, the promoters, all those people are getting their cut. So when an artist, like people were saying Morgan Wallen, throwing that chair over the Chiefs, he endangered about 100 people's jobs by doing that, because he is facing felony charges, and he's not thinking about those people, knowing that my former boss is fighting for his life in a hospital. And I got off the road. It was I think it was 2013, and that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because I was almost 50 years old. I was headed towards 50, and the grind that we were doing, that we were keeping to try and break, we were trying to break through that glass ceiling, trying to get to that next level. Trying to do that is just a constant grind. It's not just the shows, it's the radio appearances, the TV stuff, the sound checks, the rehearsals. It starts to really pile up, and they don't care if you're tired, and you have to do whatever you have to do to keep going. And you're doing 5-6 shows in a row, man, that's a lot, with the sound checks and and the radio appearances and all that. That's a lot of wear and tear on the human voice. And I used to sleep with a fisherman's friend or a Ricola or some kind of piece of hard candy. I would sleep with it in my mouth, so I'd have white noise, and then a lozenge in my mouth, sleeping with that to make sure my throat never dried out. And and the other thing on top of that is drinking to excess so that I could pass out and get to sleep. It's very difficult to come off the stage, first of all, to go from 0 to 100, to going from sitting on the bus waiting for the tour manager to go, okay, let's go, walking to the stage, grabbing your guitar, going up there, boom, the show starts, and you got to go from 0 to 100 super fast. It's not like playing the corner pub where you've got 4 sets. In the first set, you're kind of warming up and kind of feeling out the crowd. No, you are going full bore for 90 minutes to 2 hours, before a stadium audience. And, you're going from 0 to 100. You come off that, and no matter how tired you are, that crowd spurs you on. And, for me, I would have a glass of whiskey on my amp, and throughout the show, I'd get on the TalkBack, which is a little mic we have on stage to talk to the crew or whatever, and hey man, I need another beer. And I would, the material wasn't challenging as far as what I had to play. I'd be doing pick tricks and doing all this stuff because it's just not that hard to hit a diamond G chord and let it ring for 4 beats or 8 beats. The parts I could play in my sleep. And the thing is going from that, a normal guy sitting on the bus, to go into Rockstar Mode. And that's when the drinking would really take over, because I got to go from 0 to 100. I got to go out there and act like a lunatic. You know, I can't just sit and have a nice conversation and a peaceful, let's warm up and play some nice music, guys. No, you got to go out there and put on a show. It's a grind. It's a grind. And the thing is, after you do that show, you're up here. I mean, it's a offstage high that it is just like you are fired up, you are amped, and no matter how tired you were before, now you've got that burst of adrenaline, and the only way to ramp it back down is more beer, more booze. And it would just continue, and the party would continue till 2, 3 in the morning. And you'd pass out with my white noise and my lozenge, and 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock the next day, do it all over again, sound check or radio show or whatever. And it's just, and I can't even really remember a lot of the shows. People will reach out and go, hey, you remember this show and such happened? And I just have to go, yeah, I think so. But it was such a whirlwind, that I don't remember a lot of it. And, I don't drink now. I stopped drinking. It's not that I went to rehab. It's not that anybody told me to stop. Having a child at my age now, I'm 57, she's 3 years old. I just didn't want to be hungover around my child. I didn't want to be that guy that would sleep, all day just to try to feel better. And I want to get up with her every day, and I want to cook breakfast and do all those things. But the road life, man, I'm so glad I'm off the road and here with my child. And it's made me very picky about the gigs that I do now. I don't do everything that comes in. I turn down a lot of stuff. And sometimes when I turn down stuff, they'll raise the money up. And sometimes I'll still turn it down. I turned down $1,000, just recently to just go play a couple sets somewhere, And I just, if it doesn't sound enjoyable to me and there's too much involved, I don't want to do it. And I love playing guitar. I love playing live. But something about that grind of being on the road and playing someone else's songs, maybe it's not your style of music or whatever it is, but whatever it is, that gig transforms you. If you're doing the right thing, the gig transforms you into the player that the gig needs. And it's not a true reflection of what you are. It wasn't a true reflection of me. My experiences on the road, I was always playing a role. And, that's a good thing. I think a lot of people out there will have a great time being on the road. But let me tell you this, the business will chew you up and spit you out. And they won't care. They will literally can you and call somebody else and have somebody younger, quicker, faster, better looking, whatever, in a heartbeat. And that's important for you to know. I don't get a lot of young kids watching my channel. My channel is a reflection of myself. I've got a lot of older guitar players that watch my channel and listen to my stuff. But this is a message that all the young bucks really need to hear. Do things that satisfy you. A road gig might not be that thing. And I think there's so many options now for players. It used to be that was the be all end all, is getting a road gig. And it's not anymore, man. The pay is not as good as probably what you could make playing down on Lower Broadway. Now, I don't play Nashville's Lower Broadway. It's once in a blue moon I even go down there and do anything. But I think you could probably make more money doing that, and probably have better chops and sleep in your own bed and get home to your kids and your wife and not have to deal with when are you coming home? And you told me you'd be coming home at noon, and now it's 5 o'clock and the bus is broke down and you can't get home. It's a lot. That lifestyle is a tough lifestyle, and it will take a toll on you. Many people that were in the music business, they're gone now, and some of them are in hospitals fighting for their lives. And some have retired, and some have made it out safe, and some are still on that gerbil wheel, rolling to the next town and having that beer on that bus. And it's fun while it's fun, but when it stops being fun, it's time to get off the bus. So that's been my spiel. That's been my late night ramble for today. I hope it helps somebody out there. If you know somebody younger that needs to hear this message, make sure they hear it, because the business is tough and it doesn't care about you. You can think when you hear those crowds screaming, you play that step out front and play that solo, that they're loving you. But no, it'll be somebody else the next week if you're not there doing it. So bear that in mind and be safe out there. Be careful. But most of all, to all of you, just enjoy playing music and enjoy playing guitar. Thanks for watching my video. Please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.